Welcome to Take 5, your 5-minute inspirational message from Solid Rock Drogheda. Perhaps the most inspiring Olympic story of all time is that of Jesse Owens, the African-American athlete who in the 1936 Berlin Olympics under Hitler's nose won 4 gold medals. What a lot of people don't know is that Jesse Owens grew up in a shockingly poor sharecroppers family, but his family were devout Baptists. And when he was 5 years old, his mother did some do-it-yourself surgery to remove a tumor from Jesse's chest. The family were too poor to be able to afford a doctor, and the mother had already cut a tumor out of his leg, and then one began to grow deep in his chest. So she performed the operation with a sterilized kitchen knife without anesthetic. She got her 5-year-old son to bite down on a strip of leather, and she cut the tumor out. She didn't realize it was going so deep. It went really close to his heart, and he continued to bleed for 3 days afterwards. In fact, his family thought he was going to die. And Jesse, at 5 years old, got up from his bed, weakened from loss of blood, and walked to the front door of a tiny house that they lived in, and because he heard his father praying outside. And he listened to his father's desperate prayer, but he could feel himself getting weaker even as he listened. And he heard his father saying, "He's my last boy. JC's the one you gave me, the last to carry my name. She'll die if you take him from me." She always said, speaking about Jesse's mother, she always said he was born special. And then Jesse walked into the night into his father's arms. "Pray, JC," Henry Owens said. "Pray, James Cleveland." And together, father and son knelt and prayed. And within minutes, the bleeding in Jesse Owens' chest stopped and he survived. So he owed his very life to answered prayer. And then, of course, later in life came the 1936 Olympics. What a lot of people don't know is that there was a great move in the United States to boycott the Olympics because of Hitler's activities. There were concentration camps just a few miles from Berlin in 1936. Jews and Roma were forbidden to represent Germany in any of the events. And so there was a strong movement for the US to boycott the 1936 Berlin Olympics. But the president of the US Olympic Association, he brought up the amazing argument of saying, well, in my club in Chicago, we don't allow Jews in there also, so why should we penalize Germany for doing the same thing? And he actually called the movement to have the Olympics boycott, he called it a Jewish communist conspiracy. So the US team went to Berlin and Jesse was part of that team. And the story is so famous. He won the 100 meters gold medal, the 200 meters gold medal, the long jump gold medal, the 4x100 meters relay. It's always presented as being this wonderful victory for democracy and freedom over fascism, which it was. But of course, life for Jesse back home in America was not perfect. When he returned in triumph after the games, the US President Roosevelt, held a reception for all the Olympic team to celebrate their achievements. Jesse Owens, despite being the most successful member of that team, was not allowed to enter by the front door. He had to go in the side through the delivery entrance because of the color of his skin. But there was another story to what happened in Berlin. Jesse Owens struck up a friendship with Luz Long, a German long jumper, a blue-eyed, blonde-haired Aryan member of the master race that Hitler so admired. And Luz Long struck up this unlikely friendship with Jesse Owens. Jesse ended up winning the long jump, the gold medal. Luz Long won the silver medal. Luz Long later died in World War II, fighting for the German army. But before his death, writing from a battlefield in North Africa, he sent this message. He sent a letter to Jesse Owens. And it said this: "That hour in Berlin when I first spoke to you. When you had your knee upon the ground, I knew that you were in prayer. Then I know not how I know, now I do. I know it is never by chance that we came together. I came to you that hour in 1936 for a better purpose than the Berlin Olympics. And you, I believe, will read this letter, while it should not be possible to reach you ever for purpose more even than our friendship. I believe this shall come about because I think now that God will make it come about, because this is what I have to tell you, Jesse. I think I might believe in God. And I pray to him that even while it should not be possible for this to reach you ever, these words I write will still be read by you, your brother, Luz. Not only did Jesse Owens win those 4 gold medals, but his habit of praying before he participated in each event touched the life of Luz Long and ended up with Luz Long coming to a tenuous reaching out in faith to God. And in terms of eternal rewards, it may well be that Jesse Owens' witness to Luz Long will end up having more eternal significance than all of his gold medals and world records. Thank you for joining us for this inspirational message. Please join us again next time for another Take 5, your 5-minute inspirational message from Solid Rock Drogheda.